that's where we were, saying, no, Romney, we can't roll with you on this one.
Right. But he was up there saying it, and Barack Obama, his tweets were pretty darn sarcastic about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
To give the rebels, arm the rebels, and who knows where they'll end up. That's really smart, Romney. Well, isn't that?
Well,
isn't that? I mean, am I wrong? Am I off base here? Ain't that exactly what they're doing?
That's it. That is exactly what they're doing.
So, unlike Kerry, who was for it before he was against it,
Barack Obama was against it
before he was for it.
Exactly.
Oh.
You've got it now. And by the way, that was Michelle Malkin that we played that clip a while ago with the lying liars and crap weasels. Well, Twitchy is a website that she founded, which records all that stuff that happens on Twitter, that gets said on Twitter. Twitter is forever. You can delete those tweets. You can hope people forget about it. But the folks at Twitchy, they don't forget.
No, you better mean it when you put it on
and
Twitter.
If they think they might have forgot, that's when you're really going to hurt, because then they're going to go back and check.
Man, before Obama was even elected president the first time, one of the things that we were clamoring for, because let's don't forget, when Barack Obama first came on the scene, Casey, Tina, and I, we listened to his speeches. We loved what the man had to say.
Talking about transparency in government and all that kind of stuff.
Man, that was some real talk.
Well, the whole deal about putting bills out on the White House on the White House website, so everybody would have a chance to read bills before they voted on them.
All the things that he was saying, that he was mad about Bush for overstepping his executive power. Man,
all those executive orders and things.
That was stuff that Casey and I were screaming about too. So we were like, yeah. But now, all the stuff about George Bush was out there. I mean, because we were
all living it at the time.
And the liberal press, don't forget, man, they dug up all kind of stuff on George Bush. They could tell you how many lines he snorted. I mean, they really had it all out there, and it came time to vet Barack Obama, and people, digging into their past, all of a sudden they're getting smacked down here and there, and you start hearing about all this money being spent to keep certain things from coming out, even
like his transcripts.
Yeah, going to court to see to it that
records were sealed.
Spent,
I forget how many millions of dollars he spent to make sure that certain things were sealed.
And we were trying to figure out, well, okay, let's see where he came from. All right, he was a state senator, and then he went from state senator to senator. All right,
in Chicago.
Before that, he had been a community organizer / constitutional law professor. Which when I hear constitutional law professor, that's a good thing, you would think, right? Because somebody that's...
Well, we thought it was.
It was. And the other day he referred to the United States as a constitutional democracy. What the hell is that? No, we're not. See, he hates that we are a republic.
Yes.
I mean, I'm with Rush Limbaugh. If this is a democracy, fine, then I demand to be heard right now. I demand my vote be counted right now. Yeah. Because in a democracy, that's the way it works.
Right.
But we're not, see? And he should know that as a constitutional law professor, but he didn't. We also found out that he'd never, worked at a real job ever in his entire life.
Never.
He's not only has he never worked for anyone, he's never owned a business either. He had no experience as a chief executive.
Of anything.
None. Of anything. Never been a governor. Never been a mayor.
Never even been a city councilman, as far as I know.
But the man could make a speech, boy. Goodness
and he
gracious.
Could organize stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You need stuff organized, go see Barry Obama.
Oh, yeah.
He can organize the crap out of it for you.
My point in all this is we were screaming at the top of our lungs then, dig on this man. We don't even know who he is. Remember, one of our biggest beefs was to go to his election website, his campaign website, rather, and read what his platform, read from his platform. Our biggest beef was it has a lot of words on it, but it didn't say a thing. He had no positions on there. We could not tell you what he was going to do about anything, which we felt to be kind of dangerous. And then he said them words fundamentally transform the United States of America.
Well, some of us thought that he meant something good by that.
Now, we're looking at this like Barack is being a wimp, right, in this Putin situation. Now, I am not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination, but just this is a hypothesis, all right? Or, because this is hypothetical, all right?
Okay.
I'm spitballing here. You remember there was this little meeting with him and what was Medvedev? Remember that? The whole flexible thing after the election. And we sort of threw this up in the air the other day. But let's explore that a minute now. Could it be possible that perhaps this is part of flexibility? Because remember, not only is he covering for Syria, but now he's also sending a whole lot of stuff to Iran, particularly in the area of air defense.
Okay, part of Barack flexibility?
And Barack's flexibility on it is to let Vladimir Putin take the lead there in the Middle East, and hand over just a little bit of because remember who was Barack's mentor?
Well, that's Frank Marshall Davis.
Now, who was Frank Marshall Davis, Casey?
He was a communist, professor, author.
Who or what government did Frank Marshall Davis most want the United States to emulate?
Well, actually, I can't remember because it was either Russia or China.
Well, at the time, Russia was influencing China. Remember?
I got you. Well, okay. Let me tell you where the flaw. Let me tell you where the whole flaw in this is.
You gonna mess up my hypotheses, man.
Only partially.
Okay.
I honestly don't think that Barack Obama has the as the Spanish would say, the huevos to plan this and the smarts to plan it and carry it out. However, the way you laid it out, to me, smacks more of this may be Michelle's goal.
Well, I mean, you look
because look at
how they've done things.
I've
to this
seen
point.
how Barack. See, no man would set himself up to look the way he has looked on the world stage at the hands of Vladimir Putin, unless his wife made him do it.
You know what? You may be on to something there too.
I mean, again,
and remember, we're
just spitballing.
Here.
I have no proof. I'm just saying that if I'm trying to figure out how we got in this rat-bastard situation.
Look, there's only one other explanation. Now, it's either going to be one of these wild things, what Casey and I are laying out here, or the man is completely inept.
See, either way, I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight.
Yup.
But I think, look, Barack Obama's whole term here in the White House has been defined by the women in his life. Who's his top advisor, Marty? Or at least
Valerie
who gets
Jarrett.
the media credit for being
Valerie Jarrett.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Mrs. Power.
Stephanie Power.
Susan Rice.
Hillary Clinton.
David Axelrod.
Rahm Emanuel.
Exactly,
He's a big woman.
Two of the biggest women that ever set foot in the halls of power.
Yep.
His best buddy is Harry Reid, otherwise known,
as Nancy Pelosi,
the Harriet of the Senate.
Barrett face.
But
you know what, man? I'm not saying, I'll concede that he may not have the huevos to do this. He may not even have the intelligence
but the fact that it originated in the White House.
But he is ambitious enough and opportunistic enough
to put up with anything.
Or to recognize a good thing, or, what he would see as a good thing when he sees it.
And
because in order for the United States to... in order for us to come in, get into line like he would want us to get into line and to go along with everything that, the whole progressive playbook, right?
Right.
In order for that to happen, the United States would have to be severely weakened.
Yes.
Severely weakened. Not just, out
not
there
just here at home economically and all,
but out on the
on the world
have
stage.
to be extremely vulnerable to attacks from the rest of the world too. Mm-hmm. See, we would have to be at a severe, because left to our own devices, we will not act the way they want us to. We will not, work our lives the way they would like.
What I
we
see
won't
here,
eat the way they want us to. We won't work the way they want us to. We won't take the government's handouts like they want us to. The only way that can happen is if the government is the only thing that can save us.
Well, I think that there is, we were spitballing and we were joking only to a certain extent.
Right. Of course. Right.
Well, literally, there's actually very little joking in there, because I think that your theory has something to it. But I do think that, and this, you can never underestimate the effects of massive narcissism and arrogance that comes out of the White House. I do think that they got it wrong. That part of what you're saying is true. That there is a plan to diminish our stature because it is a means to
fundamentally transform the United States of America.
Because the concept of American exceptionalism is absolutely abhorrent to the Alinskyeites.
Well, he went on a U.S. apology tour.
Yes, first thing,
as a matter of fact, spoke about anti-exceptionalism.
So, this isn't something that doesn't come out of his own mouth. He doesn't like the concept.
Right.
Okay. We have the proof of that.
Mm-hmm. I got the video and the audio.
He has done more damage to the true American exceptionalism than Vladimir Putin ever could. That's why I was making light and joking about his little op-ed piece. Because no matter what he says, other people have tried to say the same things in the past and have said the same things about the United States. To those people, we say that, no, there is no other country founded on a belief in the pursuit of happiness. It's not. There is no other country out here in their founding documents.
And they may hate our guts. And they may know that beyond a doubt that the United States right now has one of the most inept governments in its nation's history. All right, they know that, and they don't have to respect them. But you know what? They ain't none of them ballsy enough to try to attack us on our own soil, because no matter what they may think of the United States government, they all know that when you say the word exceptional, say it.
Exceptionalism.
Thank you. When you say that word, American leaps to mind.
Yes.
Because they know that the average American, we are very exceptional.
The ideal
and dangerous.
The ideals that this country was founded on, in that people can govern themselves, is something that is unique and exceptional no matter where you go. We don't always live up to our own concept of exceptionalism.
Right.
but